Welcome to my video log, Fanning the Flames of Wonder, where I talk about how the work we do at ACARA is contributing to the education of children in Australian schools. In this edition, I want to talk about some major changes we've made to the way NAPLAN data is reported on the MySchool website. These changes are a result of decisions made in late 2019 by all Australian education ministers. We've been publishing nationally consistent information about every school in Australia on the MySchool website since 2010. Information such as school staffing numbers, student enrolments, NAPLAN performance, attendance data, and financial information. But in recent years, there has been growing concern around the way NAPLAN data is being reported on MySchool. The way some media organisations are using that information to construct unsophisticated league tables that make unfair comparisons between schools is undermining the purpose of and support for NAPLAN more broadly. That is why the Education Council, comprising all education ministers in the country, commissioned Emeritus Professor Bill Loudon to review how we report NAPLAN data on MySchool. We at ACARA were keen to see the public perceptions of MySchool, where its strengths lay and where improvements could be made. So in June last year, Professor Loudon presented his report to the Education Council. He found that while government and school systems relied on NAPLAN to make judgments about school and system performance, many people had reservations about the unintended consequences of NAPLAN's test results being published on MySchool. Professor Loudon also found that schools didn't really use school-level NAPLAN data when communicating with families. Interestingly, even though he found that parents don't place a high priority on NAPLAN results when choosing schools, because they understand NAPLAN doesn't measure overall school quality, parents nevertheless do believe that for transparency and accountability, NAPLAN results should be published. So, based on these findings, Professor Loudon recommended three things. First, that the number of NAPLAN displays on MySchool be reduced. Second, that the focus of NAPLAN displays on MySchool should be student progress, not statistically similar school comparisons. And third, that in order to reduce the risk of misuse of NAPLAN data, clear guidance should be provided to schools, the public and students about the purposes and proper uses of NAPLAN and MySchool. So from June last year, we worked with stakeholders and experts in statistics to improve the MySchool website based on these recommendations. We also worked with parents through focus groups across the country on different versions of NAPLAN data displays to work out what was of most use and value to parents. Parents gave valuable feedback on how to avoid too much jargon and what language and graphs needed more explanation. Ministers agreed to the proposed changes in December. So, what we've published this year will enhance the quality and usefulness of MySchool. It will give parents and other users a more helpful and fairer focus on student progress, reducing the NAPLAN displays to just two views, progress and results. And it will make the website a simpler, easier to access experience. So, what are the main changes? Firstly, we have moved away from comparisons between statistically similar schools. Now, the performance of students at a school is made against that of students everywhere across the country who have a similar level of socio-educational advantage. This change in comparison will go a considerable way to removing the opportunity for unfair school versus school comparisons. Secondly, there is now a much greater focus on student progress, with two different ways of viewing progress instead of the previous single view. As has always been the case, you can see how much the school has improved in each domain since the students did NAPLAN 2 years ago. But we've added an additional screen, an additional measure of progress, one showing the percentage of students at the school who are achieving above the average level of progress in literacy and numeracy being achieved by all students across the country with the same starting score 2 years ago and the same level of socio-educational advantage. This is a much fairer and more helpful way of benchmarking performance, as it focuses on the value add that schools are providing in terms of progress, rather than focusing on simple achievement levels. Achievement levels are important to report, and we continue to do so, but the problem is that they are mostly determined by the socio-educational profile of the student body, not what the school is actually doing. I really hope you take the opportunity to explore the information on My School, even if you've previously looked at the website and explored your child's school profile. The website now shows a much clearer and fairer account of student achievement in schools than we've ever had before. And your feedback, positive and negative, is invaluable for us to ensure we keep providing useful information on schools around the country. Thanks for watching.